Fellow Americans, before you click away, I need you to hear this because what I'm about to share could literally add over $1,500 to your monthly income. Right now, as I'm recording this, there's a Social Security bill making waves in Congress that could transform retirement for millions of people across this country. We're talking about payments potentially jumping from $1976 all the way up to $35.59 per month. That's not a typo. That's not clickbait. That's real money that could be coming to real people, and you need to know if you're one of them. I've spent the last several weeks diving deep into this legislation, talking to policy experts, reading through the actual bill text, and connecting with people who've worked in Social Security Administration for decades. What I found is going to shock you, it's going to give you hope, and most importantly, it's going to give you the exact information you need to know whether you qualify for this increase. So here's what's happening. The new Social Security bill for 2026 is designed to address what many experts are calling the biggest crisis in our retirement system. For years, Social Security benefits have been calculated using formulas that haven't kept pace with the real cost of living. Sure, we get those annual cost of living adjustments, but they don't reflect the actual expenses that retirees face, especially when it comes to healthcare, housing, and prescription medications. This new bill takes a completely different approach. Instead of just tweaking the numbers slightly every year, it fundamentally restructures how benefits are calculated for certain groups of Americans who've been left behind by the current system. And that's where things get really interesting because not everyone is going to see this increase. The bill is specifically targeted at fixing what legislators are calling structural inequities in the system. Let me break down who actually qualifies for these higher payments. First and foremost, the bill focuses on what they're calling long-term contributors. These are individuals who paid into Social Security for at least 35 years, but received lower benefits because of how their earnings were averaged over their lifetime. Many of these folks worked jobs that didn't offer traditional pension plans, bounced between different types of employment, or took time off for caregiving responsibilities that penalized them in the calculation formula. If you worked in lower paying jobs early in your career, then saw your income increase later in life, the current system actually penalizes you because it averages all those years together. The new bill changes this by allowing a recalculation that weights your highest earning years more heavily. For someone who spent decades working their way up from an entry-level position to a management role, this could mean the difference between scraping by and living comfortably in retirement. The second major group that qualifies are surviving spouses. Under the current system, when one partner in a marriage passes away, the surviving spouse often sees a dramatic drop in household Social Security income. They lose one entire benefit check, even though many of their expenses like housing, utilities, and healthcare remain the same or even increase. This bill addresses that by allowing surviving spouses to claim up to 75% of the combined benefit amount that the couple received while both were alive. For widows and widowers who've been struggling to make ends meet, this provision alone could be life-changing. Now there's also a special provision for what the bill calls late career workers. These are people who continued working past their full retirement age, but delayed claiming Social Security benefits. The current system gives you delayed retirement credits, which increase your benefit by 8% for each year you wait past full retirement age up to age 70. But this new bill enhances those credits significantly, especially for people in physically demanding jobs who worked longer out of necessity rather than choice. If you're someone who kept working into your late 60s or early 70s because you needed the income, you could see substantially higher benefits under this new formula. The bill also addresses public sector workers who were affected by what's known as the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset. For decades, teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other public employees who also worked in jobs covered by Social Security have had their benefits reduced because of these provisions. Millions of public servants have been penalized simply because they dedicated their careers to serving their communities. This new legislation eliminates those penalties and restores full Social Security benefits to these workers. If you spent 20 or 30 years teaching in a public school or protecting your community as a first responder, this could mean thousands of dollars in additional annual income. Let me give you some real numbers to show you how dramatic this change could be. Take someone who currently receives the average Social Security benefit of about $1976 per month. If they're a surviving spouse whose partner recently passed away, they might have previously been looking at a reduction in household Social Security income from around $3,000 down to just under $2,000. Under the new bill, that same person could maintain a benefit of around $2,600 to $2,800. That's an extra $600 to $800 every single month. Or consider a retired teacher who spent 30 years in the classroom and also worked summer jobs and part-time positions that were covered by Social Security. Under the current windfall elimination provision, their Social Security benefit might be reduced by $400 to $500 per month. The new bill would restore that full amount and potentially add even more based on the enhanced calculation formula. We're talking about going from maybe $1,400 a month to potentially $2,200 or more. For someone who delayed claiming benefits until age 70 and worked in a qualifying occupation, the enhanced delayed retirement credits could push their monthly benefit from around $2,800 up to that $3,559 mark we talked about at the beginning. That's an additional $759 every month, which adds up to over $9,000 per year. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true, so what's the catch? Well, there are a few important things you need to understand. First, this bill hasn't been passed into law yet. It's currently working its way through Congress, and while it has bipartisan support, there's still a legislative process it needs to go through. The timeline suggests that if it passes, implementation would begin in 2026, with the first enhanced payments potentially arriving in early 2027. Second, even if you qualify for higher benefits under this bill, you'll need to take action. The Social Security Administration isn't going to automatically recalculate everyone's benefits overnight. There will be an application process, and you'll need to provide documentation proving that you meet the qualifying criteria. This might include employment records, tax returns, marriage certificates for surviving spouses, or proof of public sector employment. Third, the payment amounts I mentioned represent the upper end of what's possible under the new formula. Your actual increase will depend on your specific work history, earnings record, and which provisions of the bill you qualify under. Some people might see their benefits increase by $200 or $300 per month, while others could see increases of $1,000 or more. It's going to vary significantly based on individual circumstances. What should you be doing right now to prepare? Start by gathering your documentation. Request a copy of your complete Social Security earnings record. You can do this online through the Social Security Administration website by creating or logging into your My Social Security account. Review that record carefully and make sure all your earnings are accurately reported. If you find errors or missing years, you'll want to correct those before any recalculation happens. If you're a surviving spouse, make sure you have your marriage certificate, your spouse's death certificate, and records of both your Social Security benefits readily available. For public sector workers, gather documentation of your government employment, pension information, and any records showing how the windfall elimination provision or government pension offset has affected your current benefits. Stay informed about the bill's progress through Congress. Follow reputable news sources, check the Social Security Administration's official website regularly, and consider signing up for updates from advocacy organizations that focus on retirement security. When the bill passes, there will be official guidance on how to apply for recalculated benefits, and you'll want to be ready to act quickly. Here's the bottom line. This Social Security bill represents the most significant reform to our retirement system in decades. For millions of Americans who've worked hard their entire lives, paid into the system faithfully, and still struggle to make ends meet in retirement, this could be the relief they've been waiting for. Whether you're already receiving benefits or still years away from retirement, understanding how this bill affects you is crucial for your financial future. Thank you so much for watching today. If this information was helpful to you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because I'll be bringing you updates as this bill progresses through Congress. Drop a comment below and let me know your situation. Are you a surviving spouse, a public sector worker, someone who delayed claiming benefits? I read every single comment, and your stories help me create content that serves this community better. Share this video with anyone you know who might benefit from this information, especially retirees or people approaching retirement age. Knowledge is power, and the more people who understand their rights under this new legislation, the better off we'll all be. Until next time, take care, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.